Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing the Ride or Die makeup tag. Now I haven't been tagged by anybody, but I kind of thought it would be a fun video to film and tell you guys, what products are my absolute favorites. So the idea behind the Ride or Die tag, Jaclyn Hill created it, and it basically was if you lost all of your makeup, what would be the first things out of each category that you would go and buy. Now I have actually used every single product bar two things because I was a little bit, well, I didn't want to put a different lipstick, a liquid lipstick on, so, and I didn't want to put my false lashes on today, so that's the only other way I got around that bit. Yeah, so it's basically all the things that you would first go out and buy from each category. So let's just get straight into the video. I have a feeling it's going to be a long one, and I did film it as well, so that'll go up. This makeup look using all these products will go up after this one. Let's get straight into it. I've got a list in front of me as well as all the products. I did actually add a couple of things to the tag just because I kind of thought that it would, help you guys out if you're unsure about things. So I'll add them on at the end. First things first, so face primer. Oh, and a little disclaimer, none of these products are from my Pro kit. That's totally separate. They're all from my personal kit that I use myself. So, so these may not be products that you've seen me put on clients, or if you've been one of my clients. It's just basically if I myself personally lost all my products. If I lost all my products in my Pro kit, you'd find me shaking in a corner and rocking backwards and forth, which actually, just slightly off this topic, almost happened to me last weekend. I was in my studio here getting ready to go to work. It's about 7 in the morning, and I have my magnifying light sitting over here, or my magnifying mirror sitting near the window, and just the way that the sun was coming in the window and that the way the light was hitting the back of my mirror, which is the magnifying side, and it was hitting the rubber on the window encasement, and a bit of smoke action, and we had probably a couple of minutes off it becoming a full-blown fire in here. So I was almost at Ride or Die, really. Like, honestly, it could have been this whole room up in smoke. It could have been the whole house. I'm just so lucky that I hadn't left for work yet, because my husband was at work and I was taking my kids to my parents as well. So I've moved my mirror away from the window. Okay, let's get into this video. Hey, so my primer that I absolutely love if I'm going to work, and this is basically products that I know are going to last a really good time on my skin as well. So the first is the L'Oreal Infallible Mattifying Base. I have kind of normal to combination skin, and it does tend to get oily in Queensland. Well, my skin just tends to get oily, and I find that this really helps to control the oil, and it doesn't make my skin flaky or dry or exacerbate any dry patches or anything like that. And my makeup slides over the top of it really, really nicely. It's got that nice silicone-y sort of texture to it. I just find that this works really well for me. And my eye primer that you've probably seen me use like 1,000 times is the NYX eyeshadow base. Now this is in the Skintone colour, so I find that this cancels out any sort of redness, discoloration, veins on my eye, and it makes a really good base. I don't find any of my shadows crease or anything like that. I really love this, and it lasts forever because you barely need any of it at all. And I just apply it with my fingers, or if you want to, you can use a brush. I've loved this for years. I've probably repurchased probably about 6 or 7 of them, so it's definitely a favorite. Okay, so foundation. I thought this was going to be really hard, but I just looked at what I had and what's the product that I reach for all the time, especially if I'm going to work and I need my makeup to look really good pretty much all day long, because most days when I'm going to work and I'm working on clients and stuff, I need my face to look pretty damn good pretty much all day. And it's the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Stay Fresh Foundation. I use the colour 150 Radiant Beige or Beige. This has got a really good shade range, so if you're unsure about, you know, because some brands only stock maybe 5 or 6 different foundation colors. I find that the L'Oreal brand does tend to stock a lot of different colors. So like this one is quite neutral on me, and they also have yellow toned and pink toned foundations. So yeah, I really like this. It's really long wearing. It gives probably light to medium coverage. You can build it up. I build it up probably to a medium coverage, which I have done today, and that's the sort of the coverage that I like. I'm not a big fan of full coverage, but you know, I definitely do think that you can build this up without it looking too cakey. And when I say build it up, I mean using a beauty blender, which is part of my favorites as well, or in the tag that I've done. I find that that seems to build product really well without it looking really cakey. So that's definitely my first foundation that I would go out and buy. Should I put BB cream in this? No, I won't. I'll keep it. I think I've got enough products here. Okay, face powder. Now, I have chosen 2 things and sort of combined this category because then we had under eye setting powder and face powder as 2 sort of separate ones. So I guess that, you know, this is the RCMA no color powder. I really love using this to set my under eye area. I don't tend to do much baking or anything like that, and if I do, it's very light. No hardcore baking here, unless it's in the kitchen. But yeah, it doesn't provide flashback. It helps stop my concealer from creasing. And then if I do have a really long day ahead of me, I use this all over my face as well. I use the beauty blender to press it into the skin, and I find this really helps stop any oil control as well. And for face powder, if I am wearing something that is a little bit more lightweight, like a BB cream, and I want a little bit more coverage, I really like using my MAC Studio Fix. I have got the colour C4, and that's what it looks like. It's just a really good powder that has a lot of coverage in it. So I did actually use this today very sparingly, sort of around the perimeter of my face, just so that, you know, I could put all these products on my face so you could see what they look like. On to blush. Oh, if you guys know me, I'm a complete blush fanatic, and I don't know how many blushes I actually have in my collection, but there's a lot. And to narrow it down to 1 was really difficult, so I cheated and chose 2. And my reasoning behind choosing 2 was 1 is quite bright coloured and 1 is quite neutral. So does that count? Does it count that you've chosen 2 different colours? I don't know. I'm letting it count. Okay, so the neutral coloured one is the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-hour blush. This is in the colour Exposed, and this is just the most beautiful. It is it looks a bit satiny in the pan, but it is the most beautiful neutral toned blush you'll ever find. I absolutely love this. It lasts all day. It's got that really nice lasting power to it. I've sort of applied this in sort of the front sort of part of the apple of my cheeks today, just to sort of give my skin a little bit of a pop there. If I'm not sure about what colour blush to wear, this is the one I go for. And then the other one that I chose that was a little bit more brighter was the Australis Show Some Cheek. Show Some Cheek. This is so hard to say. Why is it so hard to say? Show Some Cheek blush, and it's in the colour Sinful. This is so pigmented, you barely need to use any. I find if I use a duo fibre brush, like this kind of one, it doesn't tend to pick up as much product. I always tap off the excess, and this is the same with all of those Show Some Cheek blushes. They are so goddamn pigmented, it's crazy. And it's the most beautiful bright, I wouldn't say it's bright, but I can't explain. It's on my cheeks here today. It just is such a beautiful flush. That's what I call it, a flush on the skin. So I love this colour. Bronzer was pretty much a no-brainer for me. I've loved this product. I have it in my kit, and I have a mini one as well. And I also use this to contour as well. And that's kind of where I was going with when I was thinking about which bronzer I would choose, whether I would choose something, a separate bronzer and a separate contour. But I figure that this works really well for both. And I've only got a little mini of it in my personal kit, and it's the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. This is in the medium shade, I think. Yeah, the light medium shade. It works really well on my skin tone. It's not shimmery, it's got no satiny, it's completely matte. It's just the most beautiful bronzing colour, and I've used it all around the perimeter of my face. And I also did use it to contour as well. So yeah, I just love this bronzer, and it smells like chocolate, which, you know, really helps. I added in cream bronzer sort of contour as well, just because I find that I do tend to do this if I'm going out for an event or something like that. And I absolutely love my NARS Laguna, and this is in a stick form. There's a lot of product in this, and I'm probably never going to use it. I do think that it is kind of shimmery, so I don't actually use it to contour. I use it sort of more to bring some dimension back to my face, and I really like it. It's nice and creamy. It blends out like a dream, so you don't have to be in there like scrubbing away at your face and moving your foundation, that kind of thing. It just blends out beautifully, which you'll see in the video when I use it. What next? What is next? Oh, highlighter. I kind of thought I would struggle with this, but when I looked at all of my highlighters, I knew exactly which one to choose. You knew it was going to be this kind of packaging, but which one is it that I've chosen? Which one do you think? It's Opal, of course. And the reason why I chose Opal is because it just suits my skin tone. It's that beautiful champagne colour, and it's not too white, it's not too golden. I absolutely love Opal. It's my baby. I chose cream highlighter as well, just because I do like to layer my products up, only because I find that your products last and makeup lasts a lot longer on your face if you do tend to layer as well. So I have chosen the ModelsPrefer Radiance collection. This is the Illuminating palette. Now this is the cream palette, and I really do like all of these shades, but particularly this one in the middle. It's that champagne-y, pink toned sort of highlighter. This one's more golden white sort of, or white gold sort of tone, and then this one's obviously more bronzy. So yeah, I really like this. They're really easy to put on. They don't move any products you put on underneath, and they're really nice and creamy as well. Mascara. I'm a bit of a mascara fiend, but I really do like this mascara. It builds up really well, and you can put quite a few layers of it on without it going clumpy and spidery sort of looking. And it's the ChiChi, pronounce that correctly, sorry, ChiChi, sounds so weird, 3D Magic Lash. It's got a rubber bristle brush, and it's really quite big, and for those of you who know me, I'm not a big fan of a rubber bristle brush, but I do really like this one. For some reason, the way that it's shaped just seems to be able to get right in there to the bottom of the lashes and then pull it up. So I do really like this. I've worn it today, and you know, I get really nice long thick lashes from this mascara. Lip liner. Now this should come as no surprise to you. It's the Rimmel, what is this? Exaggerate full color lip liner. It's in the color Addiction. It's that perfect your lips but better color. If you don't have this in your makeup kit, what are you doing? It's retractable, so it's really nice and easy. You don't need to sharpen it. It's got a nice sort of angle at it, so you can get a nice crisp line. Beautiful. Lipstick. This was another one I found was really hard. And I just went through and thought, what's the lipstick that I grab if I'm going somewhere, and I don't need to worry about touching it up because it fades nicely. It doesn't look like, you know, when you're wearing a red lipstick, you've got to touch it up. And I ended up going with MAC's Faux lipstick. And it's that same kind of nudie, browny, mauvey kind of tone. It's what I'm wearing on my lips at the moment. Goes really well with smoky eye. Can be really nice and neutral as well. Just a day-to-day shade. Liquid lipstick. I did find this really hard because I have got a lot of liquid lipstick in my collection, and I totally didn't think about how many liquid? I thought this would be easy, but I kind of just went with what color I really, really like, and I do like the formula for this as well. And it's the Australis Velourlips, and it's in the shade Shang-Hi. This is a beautiful dark purple. It looks really quite bright there, but it's a darker sort of purpley pink. I really love this color on me, and I don't know why I don't wear it more often actually. Yeah, so if I want a bright color and in a liquid lipstick, then yeah, this is the one that I will choose. Gloss. I'm not a huge gloss person, although I have started to wear it. I think the matte liquid lips is maybe having its time and everybody's starting to go back to a bit more of a gloss. If I'm going to wear a gloss, I do tend to wear it over a lipstick and sort of put it in the middle part of my lips just to give that more plumpness. Actually, I think that this might be the only gloss I even have in my collection. Yeah, I think I do. And it's the Rimmel Oh My Gloss, and this is in the colour Snog. This is just beautiful, your lips but better kind of colour. So you could wear it on a day-to-day basis. It's not too sticky or doesn't get your hair caught in it, and that's what I like in a gloss. So yeah, I really like this one. Setting spray. I'm a huge advocate for setting spray, only because I do tend to find it does help my makeup last, and it tends to take the powdery sort of look out of your makeup and just tends to settle everything into your skin. And this has just, I've loved this the minute I bought it, and it's the L'Oreal Infallible Fixing Mist. Now this does have sediment in it, so once it all sort of settles down, I've obviously used it not that long ago, you will see that this is quite light sort of milky colour, and you will see sediment at the bottom, and you'll usually have about a good centimetre of it. You need to, and it's got ball bearings in this as well. You will need to shake this like no other business to get all that sediment into the product and, you know, worked up. Because if you try and spray it without sort of shaking it properly, you're going to have white particles all over your face. Put it on now, just because and it smells really, really nice. And everybody always says how nice it smells. And it comes out in a really nice fine mist. It's not like shh in your face like some of the alcohol activated ones, which tend to be a lot more long lasting because they really do hold everything onto your face. But I really like this for me personally. So for concealers, I have chosen two because they do different things. The first is the NYX Dark Circle Concealer Corrector. This is in the medium shade. I find this really helps to cancel out any dark circles that I have under my eyes. I use this before I use like any other concealers under my eyes. I just feel that this works really, really well. And then for concealers, like under eye without being correctors, is that I don't know, is that a category? I'm going to make it a category. I really love the Maybelline Fit Me. They have a great shade range. As you can see, I've only got 3 of them here in front of me. But I really like using the fair coloured, fair one. This is the lightest one, to highlight my face. The medium or the sand one is really good for matching my skin tone to go over the top of that salmon coloured corrector. And then the darkest one, which is Cafe, is really, really nice for bronzing / contouring. And they're a thin consistency, but they have really good coverage, and I don't find they go cakey on me at all, or separate or any of that kind of issue. So yeah, I really enjoy using those concealers. Okay, eye pencils. I have chosen a brand rather than, I guess a brand. It's only got they've only got a few colours, and this should come as no surprise either. And it's the Eye of Oris. This is an independently owned Australian brand. I find that these are creamy. They set really well. This is the only black eyeliner that will go in my tight line and won't transfer to my waterline. I've never seen anything like it. And then, so I've got 2 colours here just so you can see a bit of difference. Yeah, they're really, really beautiful and creamy, and they have a little smudge stick on the other end. Get heaps of product in these. They're great. And liquid liner, the Maybelline Hyper Sharp Wing. This creates the easiest winged liner of your life ever. It's got an amazingly sort of shaped tip, so it's kind of like, it's a brush tip applicator, so it's not like a felt tip, but it's flat as anything on one side, and then you can turn it and it's quite thick, so you can create a nice thick line or a nice thin line. Yeah, I absolutely love this liquid liner. I think I have two up there in my collection at the moment. Why I've got two open, I don't know. Brows. As you know, I've got my brows tattooed, so on a day-to-day basis when I'm not wearing any makeup, I don't need to do my brows anymore. But if I am wearing a full face of makeup, I do still draw my brows on just to give them a little bit more thickness and texture. And usually you get a little bit of foundation in them, so they do tend to go a little bit of a grey colour. The brow pencil that I absolutely love is the Eye of Horus. This is the Dynasty Brow Define, so this is like the medium shade. There's 3 shades. It's got a nice spoolie on one end, and the product itself is a really nice thin sort of typical of like the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz, but I think that this colour is amazing on me, and I love the product. It's a little bit waxy, doesn't come out really, really thick. What do you call it? Thick and sort of creamy. Yeah, waxy is a little bit better. So, and if I do want to do a bit more of a power brow, I guess, I go in with my ChiChi brow pomade. I've been using the colour medium brown. This is really nice and creamy. It sets to a beautiful, beautiful, what do you call it? Yeah, it sets, I guess. Yeah, it sets. It doesn't stay creamy and liquidy or anything like that. And I find that this is really, really good. I would rate this over any other brow pomade that I've ever used. And you know, you have to set those brows down, and so of course it's my L'Oreal Brow Artist Plumper. This is in the shade medium dark. You can get it in transparent and also a lighter colour as well, but this is just perfect. It is a tiny little brush. I do find that I do have to brush off the little fibres because a lot comes out. If you've got really thick brows, then you won't need to do that. But it just creates really nice texture to define the brows, the brow hairs, I guess. And yeah, it doesn't make them crunchy, but it sets them in place. So yeah, that's my favourite brow mascara. Okay, we're down to the last 3 items. False lashes. I don't usually wear them on a daily basis at all, and I occasionally put them on for tutorials and stuff like that. And I usually do wear them if I'm going out, like at night time or something like that. And these are the ones that I usually choose, and they're the Model Rock Demi Wispies. They're not too long. These particular Demi Wispies are not too long for me to wear my glasses as well, and they're really nice, full, thick lashes. They're my favourites. Eyeshadow palettes. This was another category that I kind of felt like I was going to struggle with, and the one that I kind of had in the back of my mind didn't actually win. I went back to something that I have. This is the second palette that I have bought of it. And the reason I think I went with it is because it has so much variety, and it has a matte black, it has a matte dark brown in it, and I think that if you've got a palette that's got those colours in it, then you're pretty much onto a winner. And the fact that it has equal amount of shimmer and equal amount of matte, you know where I'm going with this, really won me over. And it's the Lorac Pro. This is the very first one that came out. Mine is so battered. It's got a great big broken mirror on it. I've hit pan on quite a few shades already. I'm sure you've all seen this palette many times. It's beautiful. It's got a couple of little pops of colour. It's got like a dark purple here and this garnet colour, which is absolutely stunning. But it's just got these beautiful, you know, nice everyday tones. And then you come down here and you've got your matte dark brown and your matte black and sort of, you know, nice transition shades. And then your sort of cream matte all over colours as well. So yeah, I think that this is definitely the first palette that I would go and buy, only because, yeah, it's got everything that you need to start out with. And then finally was fragrance. I cheated again on this, and it was only when I was smelling both of these when I was coming back to my makeup room, I was like, these both smell really similar. So maybe they are too similar. The first one that I thought, yep, definitely, this is Flower Bomb by Viktor and Rolf. Now, this is kind of one of those perfumes that you either like it or you hate it. I love it. It is heady, it is deep. I don't think it's really overly, I mean, it's got that flower smell, but it's not floral, like sweet floral. It's musky and deep and dark. I find that this is beautiful for a nighttime scent. And I've only got it in a little mini rollerball, and it's coming down to this much, so I think I'm going to have to go and buy a big one. So wait for it to come on special because it is an expensive perfume. And then the other one is Armani Code, which is exactly the same. It's that deep, dark, nighttime scent. And this is my second big bottle of Armani Code. I fell in love with this when a friend of mine was wearing it. God, it'd be over 15 years ago, and I just loved it. Oh, I just love this. Oh, yeah. I can't explain it. It's just sexy. I think both of those perfumes are sexy, and they last really, really long. And I find that if I wear them, people always ask me, what are you wearing? What are you wearing? And that's, yeah, I don't know. My two final categories are tools, I guess you could put them under. So the first one is makeup sponges. And you know that I love a lot of makeup sponges, and I do prefer to apply my makeup with a sponge. And I had to go back to what I find is the best, Beauty Blender. It's expensive, yes, I know. It's dirty. I just used it. I love the black one because it doesn't seem to stain. You can't see the staining on it as bad as the pink ones, or the other colours as well. But yeah, I don't know, they last really long. They're really nice and bouncy. I think they're the bounciest of all. Yeah, I think I just have to go back to the original Beauty Blender. For brushes, I thought about entire brands of brushes, and what I find that lasts long, that doesn't seem to fray, that have a good range of brushes, and I couldn't go past Real Techniques, honestly. So these are the ones that I have just used now. So on my face I've used all of these brushes, but I do have more as well. So, and I just find that their brushes work really well. They're all synthetic, which means they clean up really well after using any cream products. They've got lots of variety, and I don't know, I just love Real Techniques brushes. And if you are worried about the price of them, and because they can be a bit pricey, especially if you go through like Priceline, I buy all of mine from iHerb, and they're about a third of the price, and it's an authentic seller as well. Although I did find that I did order some of their new sponges last week, and I did want some of the new Berlin. They've got a different brush handle than the Berlin, and because of the weight of them, it said it was like 13 kilos. I'm pretty sure those 6 brushes were not 13 kilos. Anyway, so my, what do you call it? My shipping was going to be like $70, so I didn't worry about ordering those brushes. So I'm a bit disappointed about that. But I've got a lot of brushes. I do have some of the Real Techniques ones in my Pro Kit. That's how much I love them. And I have heaps that I use on myself. So I hope you enjoyed the Ride or Die tag video. Leave your Ride or Die products in the comment section down below. I tag everybody who has watched this video to do it on your own channels, and I look forward to seeing what your ride or die products are. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.